Welcome back to the Psychology Wisdom channel. Ever caught yourself wondering if a guy is jealous of the attention you get from other men? Or maybe you're curious whether he's secretly attracted to you, but doesn't quite know how to show it? Well, you're in the right place. Although most guys will do everything they can to hide it, there are some clear signs that point to a jealous crush. In this video, we'll explore 15 signs that tell you if a guy is jealous of the attention you're getting from other guys, and maybe even secretly falling for you. But before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. Trying to make a guy jealous isn't exactly the best way to win his heart. Trust me, there are healthier ways to get his attention. That being said, let's take a look at the signs that a guy might be jealous and interested in you. And hey, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more insights into social psychology, and don't forget to like the video if you find it helpful. Let's get started. 1. The silent treatment. Let's start with a classic, the silent treatment. It might sound weird, but if a guy likes you and feels jealous, he might shut down and stop talking to you. Imagine you went out with your friends and suddenly he's giving you the cold shoulder. It could be that he's hurt, doesn't know how to handle his feelings, or feels threatened. Jealousy often leads to insecurity, and when guys don't know how to process it, they act distant. Warning: if this behavior becomes frequent, it might be a sign of toxic behavior. Keep your eyes peeled. 2. He acts different around you. Ever noticed how a guy might switch up his personality when you're around? He could go from shy and sensitive to suddenly trying to act tough and macho. This change is often a sign of jealousy. He might be insecure, trying to match the type of guy he thinks you'd like. So if one day he's acting like Clint Eastwood, but the next he's a smooth talker, there might be more going on beneath the surface. 3. He always wants to one-up other guys. You know when you're out with friends, and this guy keeps trying to impress you, whether it's by paying the bill or showing off expensive gifts. It might seem sweet at first, but watch out. If he's always trying to outdo other men in your circle, he could be doing it out of jealousy. He wants you to notice him, and not that other guy across the room. It's a subtle but obvious sign he's competing for your attention. 4. His energy drops when you mention other men. Jealousy doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it shows up in subtle ways. If you mention another guy you're chatting with, or someone you've dated, and suddenly his energy changes, that's a red flag. He might get quiet, distant, or even visibly uncomfortable. It's a classic sign that he's feeling possessive, even though he might try to hide it. 5. He flirts only when he thinks you're watching. This is a big one. If a guy flirts with other girls or acts like he's not interested, but the moment you're around, he turns on the charm, you're dealing with a guy who's trying to make you jealous. It's like a game of look what you're missing, and he's hoping you'll notice. 6. He hates that you have a life outside of him. Jealous guys tend to get possessive, and if you have a life outside of him, whether it's friends, hobbies, or a busy career, he might start to resent it. When you start spending time with others, you might notice him getting frustrated or asking strange questions about your plans. Be cautious. Jealousy can easily cross into controlling behavior, and that's never okay. 7. He's rude to your male friends. Jealousy can bring out the worst in some guys. If he's constantly making snide remarks or acting cold towards your male friends, it's likely because he feels threatened. He doesn't want anyone else getting too close to you, even if your relationship with them is completely platonic. Watch for passive-aggressive behavior. It's his way of saying, "You're mine," even if you're not his yet. 8. He becomes your shadow. Have you ever run into him unexpectedly at a coffee shop or a random spot in town? If a guy is suddenly showing up at places you didn't expect him to be, he might be following you around out of jealousy. It's subtle, but he could be trying to keep tabs on you. And even if he's not being overtly creepy, it's still a sign that he cares more than he's letting on. 9. His eyes are always on you. It's cute when a guy can't take his eyes off you, right? But when it becomes obsessive, you've got a jealous guy on your hands. If he's constantly watching you, whether you're at a party, in class, or even at work. It's his way of keeping track of who you're talking to, what you're doing, and how much attention you're getting. A jealous guy will stare without you noticing. 10. He feigns aloofness. Sometimes a jealous guy might try to hide his feelings by acting distant or aloof. He'll pretend not to care, even though he's seething inside. When you're surrounded by friends or talking to other guys, he'll fade into the background, trying to appear uninterested. This might be his way of coping with his jealousy, by pretending it doesn't bother him. 11. He's passive-aggressive. This is the classic, I'm fine, everything's fine behavior. A jealous guy might not express his emotions directly, but his body language, tone, and comments will speak volumes. He might make snide remarks or sulk when you're around other men. If he can't say it, he'll show it through subtle passive-aggressive behavior. It's childish, but it's also a clear sign of jealousy. 12. He freaks out when communication isn't instant. If you've ever noticed a guy getting upset because you haven't responded to his text right away, he might be feeling insecure. Jealousy can make some guys act irrationally, expecting you to drop everything for them. If you don't respond quickly, he could get frustrated or anxious, which is a huge clue that his feelings for you run deep. 13. He gets extra sweet when he sees you with other guys. Ever had a guy suddenly shower you with compliments or extra attention when he sees you with other men? This sudden surge in sweetness is his way of marking his territory. It's his attempt to show you that he's the one you should be focused on. If he's acting super nice when you're around other guys, it's probably jealousy in disguise. 14. He gets angry for no reason. Jealousy can turn into anger pretty quickly. If a guy gets irrationally upset when you talk to other guys, or even mentions feeling frustrated when you're with your friends, it's a sign he might be struggling with his emotions. Watch out for this, because it can escalate into manipulative behavior. 15. He's relieved when you're single. This one can be subtle, but if a guy seems unusually relieved when you're going through a breakup, it might be because he's finally got a chance to make his move. You might notice him suddenly being extra kind or overly supportive. It's not just sympathy. He might be secretly glad you're back on the market so he can step in. To wrap it up, whether you're navigating a tricky relationship or trying to figure out why a guy is acting strange, understanding these signs will help you decode his feelings. Jealousy can be tricky to handle, but with the right insight, you'll be able to figure out what's really going on. If you've experienced any of these signs firsthand, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you know someone who could use this advice, share this video with them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more practical social psychology tips. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.